Hi, my name is Terrence Banks, and this is my data presentation for ITEC 7305 for 2016. The purpose of this presentation is to present an overview of data at Newton High School. This presentation will include demographic information, as well as test scores from the past 3 years, 2014 to 2016. The strengths of the school, as well as the weaknesses, will also be highlighted in this presentation. School demographics. Newton High School is located in Covington, Georgia. It's a part of the Newton County School System. We have 3 high schools in our county. Newton High School is the largest school in the county. As you can see by look of our enrollment of Newton High School is going up. In 2014, our enrollment was just over 2,100. Moving up now to 2016, where our enrollment is at 2,361. We have grown by over 300 kids over the last 3 years. As you can see, our biggest demographic of students is African American students, which has also grown over the last 3 years from 1662 to 1913 over the last 3 years. Our second biggest population is white students. Our white students has actually stayed the same from 264 to 260, followed by Hispanic students. Hispanic students were 116 in the year 2014. Today, Hispanic students are 168. If you check out our enrollment by gender, each gender is increasing. Males are up 123 from 1,014 to 1,027 in 2016. Females are up from 1,055 in 2014 all the way to 1,238 here in 2016. Our profile data. This data is a highlight of our 2015-2016 school year. Approximately 73% of the students are eligible for free or reduced lunch and are considered economically disadvantaged. 3% of our students are served and labeled as English language learners, and 14% of our students at Newton High School are served through special education. The test scores that we'll talk about today involve EOC scores for 9th grade literature and coordinate algebra. In the year 2015, the state of Georgia changed their test from the end of course test to the end of course test, dealing with the new Georgia milestones. As you can see, in the year 2015, 2016, they went to 4 types of learners. You have distinguished learners, proficient learners, developing learners, and beginning learners. If you start with the 2015 year, Newton High School had 74% of their students pass the EOC. In that year, the highest category was the developing learners at 41%, 4% were distinguished, 29% was proficient, and 26% was beginning. In the 2016 year, Newton High School had 79% of their students pass the EOC. The beginning went down to 21%, 47% became developing, 30% proficient, and our distinguished learners dropped by 1. If you compare that to the state, the district, and the school in 9th grade literature, you will see in year one, Newton High School had 74% of the kids pass. The state average was 76. The following year, both the scores went up. 79% for Newton High School, over 80 for the district, and 78 for the state. When we talk about coordinate algebra, this is an area where at Newton High School we really struggled. In the 2015 year, we actually had 56% of the kids pass. We had 43% that were beginning, 42 was developing, 12 proficient, and 2 distinguished. This fell to a rate of 32% in 2016. As you can see by our blue tab, 68% of our kids became beginning, 27 developing, 6 proficient, and we had no distinguished learners for the 2016 year. If we break that down by district and state, as you can see, our district numbers decreased as well, but the state average went up. In 2015, we had, like I said, 56% of our school pass, 64 at the district, 69 at the state level. That fell at Newton High School to 32, 2016, 42% as the district, but the state average increased to 76%. Here we have, for the past 3 years, a table of the percentage of students passing each EOC. The good news as it concerns coordinated algebra is in our 2014, the last year, that we were able to administer the end of course test for coordinated algebra before we changed to the new GPS standards for the Georgia milestones. Only 19% passed. We peaked at 56% the first administration of the EOC Georgia milestones before decreasing down to 32% in spring 2016. If you look at our 9th grade lit, it has fallen 5% over the last 3 years. We had over 80%, 84% to be exact, that passed the last administration of the end of course test for 9th grade literature, falling to a low of 74% in 2015 with the first administration of the Georgia milestone with the new standards, then increasing back to 79% in year 3, 2016 of the EOC. The trend as our 9th grade lit has went up with the second administration of the test. Our coordinate algebra leaves a lot to be desired, dropping from 56 to 32. When we look at some subgroup data, and this is from our 2015 test scores for 9th grade lit subgroup, you will see that our students with disabilities only pass at a over 20% clip, 24% to be exact. You will see that our white students and our female students both passed the EOCT at over 80%. Overall, we were at 74, and you see our black students being close, our Hispanic students passing that, and our economically disadvantaged students about the same. The majority of our school is labeled economically disadvantaged, so this is not a surprise. If you look at our coordinate algebra 2015 subgroups, you will see that we had a pass rate of 56%. Our white students passed at 70%. Our female students passed at over 60%. Our black students were around the same, and Hispanic. If you look at our students with disabilities, they passed at a very, very alarming rate of only 11%. And if you look at our English language learners, they passed at a 21% rate. When you compare that to our district in 2015, you will see that across the district, most of our scores were comparable. Our American Indians and Hispanic kids actually scored higher than the district average, as well as our black students and economically disadvantaged. The biggest two disparities, of course, being in the students with disabilities of 4%, and ELL scored 7% lower. When it comes to our coordinate algebra, we had very low percentages as a whole. The only spot where we scored higher than the rest of the county was in Hispanic students. Our ELLs were the same at 21%. Our students with disability gap was a 7% gap between that and the district, and our male gap was 8%. Overall, we scored 6% lower than the rest of the district. So our summary, what are our strengths? In 2016, the school had more proficient and developing learners in 9th grade lit. In 2014 and 26, growth on the coordinate algebra is up plus 13%, though it dropped from 19% to 32%. Our 2016 9th grade literature scores above 70%. We had two subgroups. White students and female students had over 80% pass on the 9th grade literature test. The same two subgroups score over the district algebra and coordinate algebra. And American Indian and Hispanic pass over the district average in 9th grade lit. What are our glaring weaknesses? The scores of students that are classified as students with disabilities and ELL that take the ninth grade literature need to be improved. Overall, the school score on the coordinate algebra test for ninth grade is well below the state average and needs improvement. What are some discussion points? With the percentage of students passing ninth grade literature routinely above 7%, should the district and school continue to use Springboard curriculum? Part of the reason why I chose these two scores to take a look at is we have full fidelity with Springboard books and Springboard curriculum for ninth grade literature, all English classes, and all of our math classes, especially our EOC classes. Should we continue using Springboard for ninth grade literature? We do show that 70% of our students pass. It's just something we can add there, but overall that's doing well. What can be done to increase the percentage of students that pass and students with disability and ELL subgroups? While our school percentage is well above 70%, what can we do for these two subgroups who score below that? Our third discussion point is why Springboard curriculum is working well for ELL classes. What can be done to improve our school's coordinate algebra ELC scores? Is Springboard not working enough? Are teachers not using fidelity? Are there things that need to change? This needs to be discovered. And of course, in coordinate algebra, what can be done to move more of our students to distinguished learner group? As I said, there were 0% in that group when it was for the previous year in 2016. This is a data overview of Newton High School, and I am Terrence Banks. Thank you.